Greetings everyone and welcome back. This is Marco and today we are taking a look at the Canon FD 50mm 1.4 breech lock. The Canon FD mount was introduced in 1971 as an upgrade to the previous FL mount, and it would be eventually replaced by the EF mount in 1987. The lens we're looking at today is the third variant of the 50mm f1.4, and it was produced somewhere between 1976 and 1980, when the breech lock was discontinued in favor of the new FD design. Let's take a closer look. The lens is made out of metal, it weighs 300 grams, it is 51 to 59 mm long, and it has an external diameter of 66 mm, with a 55 mm front thread. The iris has 8 blades, the aperture is clicked, and it goes from f1.4 to f16 with half steps plus auto. The focusing ring is textured, and it turns 210 degrees. Minimum focusing distance is 45 centimeters. Flange distance for the Canon FD mount is 42 millimeters. The focusing ring is smooth but a little bit stiff, while the aperture on the other hand doesn't have much resistance. Overall, the lens feels solid and hefty, maybe even a little bit too much. Sharpness wide open is good even in the corners. Most of the time, more on that later. By f8 it gets very sharp all over the frame. Chromatic aberration and blooming are present wide open, but only occasionally distracting. Colors are pleasant and on the warm side, with pastel tones wide open. Stopping down, they gain some contrast and saturation. Specular highlights are mostly big and soft, but can show some artifacts or chromatic aberration. The Super Spectra coating does a great job dealing with ghosting. Flares are present and can be quite bold, but without washing out the image. And now, let me show you some samples.
This is the Canon FD, 50mm f1.4, the S.S.C version. A wonderful, wonderful lens. I wanted something that can live on my camera. This, although wonderful, spectacular, absolutely beautiful in many ways, is not it. It's not my go-to 50mm lens. This lens is really fantastic. It gives images a very pleasant, very almost magical quality. Very suitable for black and white work. I love using this lens for monochrome. Excellent for portraits. Really, really splendid depth of field blur. Very beautiful in the way it allows you to separate the subject from your background. This is where I start talking about a few of the things I don't like about this lens. The main thing is its size and weight. I like small, short, and light lenses. This is why this is not my go-to 50mm. I will always trade in tiny bit of image quality for a great bit of reduction in size and weight. Being this long and this heavy, it kind of messes up the balance on my camera. It's a lens I go to when I want really, really great image quality and I care for nothing else. But if I'm out and about, shooting street photography, having a few beers on the way, just minding my own business with a camera strapped to my back or my neck or whatever, it's not really the lens I go to.
Thank you, Radu, for sharing your thoughts on this lens. I will leave a link in the description to his review, so check it out as well. I'll be honest, I am torn about this lens. From 2.8 on, it works perfectly. Sharp, clean, and all of that. But wide open, it is so unpredictable. Sometimes images look wonderful, and some others are just a mess of softness, chromatic aberration, and blooming. Once again, it comes down to personal preference. If you like that dreamy look, this lens might be for you, but if you're looking for something reliable, then you probably should look at something else. Well, I hope this video was useful. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!